Good morning. I am sitting here. I work a night shift job, so it gives me time to study and read and pray. And I see what's online with a lot of you. And what I'm sensing is a lot of disappointment. You guys are, or ladies, are having some disappointments in some areas of your life. And I see that you're struggling in that area. And I wanted to just give you a boost of encouragement and maybe just a fresh little piece of nugget that just was gleaned to me in reading of the word this morning. So I wanted to share it on with you. And basically it's this: what is the difference between self-direction and Jesus directives? And there is a significant change in that, difference in that. So my glasses are all glaring here. I'm sorry. So not paying attention to what you're seeing with me, but actually hearing the word. So I want to get into John chapter 21. And let's just read. It's basically it says Jesus and the miraculous catch of the fish. So this is really interesting. I'd never seen this way before. So hopefully you will get some insight from this as well. So we're talking about the disciples here. They were we're talking about Peter, and he was a Simon Peter and Thomas and Nathaniel and Zebedee and some other disciples. They were professional fishermen, so they knew their trade. This isn't like they were just out there dabbling, putting a worm on a hook and throwing it out there. This was how they made their living. This is what they did to sustain the quality of their life and to take care of their families and their households. And it says, afterwards, Jesus appeared again to the disciples. So apparently he's appearing to the disciples. This is actually the third time that he appeared, but it happened by this way. They were basically waiting around, and they said, I'm going to fish. So Peter said, I'm going to go fish. Now he needed to do something that was familiar to him and something that he was good at. And so he said, I'm going out to fish. And they said, well, we'll go with you. Right. And that's usually what happens. You have somebody that starts something and says, come on, I'm going to go do this. And then people that are like-minded, they say, come on, I'm going to go with you. Kind of like this group. Somebody started this. Somebody had an idea. Somebody felt encouraged to do this and said, come on, I'm going to go do this. And a few other ladies jumped on and said, I'm going to go with you. Right. And so that's what they did. So they went out and they got into the boat. But that night they caught nothing. Nothing happened. Now these are professionals who know what they're doing. They're out there on the boat. They made the proclamation that they were going to go do it, but nothing happened. Does that ever happen to you, where you know that you know what you're doing, and you know that you have all the tools and the skill and the ability, and you're in the right place at the right time? You perceive and believe, but nothing happens. So they're probably just a little bit discouraged. I'm sure you've been there. I know I've been there a lot. Well, early in the morning, Jesus stood on the shore, but the disciples did not realize that it was Jesus. So sometimes we are so focused on our situation that we forget to see our surroundings. And I know that has certainly happened to me. And we're supposed to keep our focus and our eyes upon Jesus. That's what we're supposed to do. But they were caught up in the situation, and they were discouraged. They had not caught anything. They'd been there all night long. They hadn't caught anything. Well, this man, who they did not recognize, which we know to be Jesus, said, friends, haven't you any fish? Well, have you ever had that well-meaning people to stand beside you and say, haven't you got anywhere yet? I'm sure it was a little distasteful to them, kind of like rubbing it in a little bit, but that's not, of course, was not Jesus's intention. He was trying to get them to refocus on him. So he spoke to them and he said, friends, haven't you any fish? No, they answered. And I could just almost hear their no, like, no, or no, or no, I mean, it's Can you imagine? It wasn't like, no, it was a voice of frustration, I'm sure. We've all been there as well. But Jesus spoke to them, and he gave them instruction, and he gave them a directive, and he spoke life into their situation, because that's who he is. And he said, throw your net on the right side of the boat, and you will find some. Well, there's kind of a little play on words, right? Throw it onto the right side, not just the right side technically, but throw it on the right side. So sometimes you have to refocus and rethink your position. Even though you may be in the right place at the right time, you need to have the right motivation and intention. And so that's what he did. He said, throw your net on the right side of the boat and you will find some. Well, they listened. When they did, they were unable to haul the net in because of the large number of fish. It was overwhelmingly, abundantly more than they could ever comprehend or desire. And it was by throwing it on the right side, by refocusing what it is their intention was, and by hearing and listening to Jesus, they threw it and they were received more than they could possibly haul. And then Jesus, the disciples who Jesus loved, said to Peter, it is the Lord. So as soon as Simon Peter heard him say, it is the Lord, he wrapped his outer garment around him, and for he had not taken it off, and he jumped into the water. So when he recognized that it was Jesus, he was all in, right? And sometimes that happens to us as well, because we realize that, there he is. There's the Lord. And we just jump in. We're so excited that we just jump in. And I feel like that is that way for this group as well, because you see, I believe that while we have our intentions are on loving each other and showing each other love, which is the right thing to do in the Lord, right? That's what this little group is about. I will say I've delivered several little bitty gift baskets to people, and it's not been at all about what I've received back. It's just about telling those people, hey, you're blessed. We see you, we love you, we acknowledge you. You are a part of something bigger than what you could comprehend or imagine, and you're part of this catch. You're part of this net throwing that Jesus is throwing out there and catching, and you're not alone. You're not invisible. And so that's fine. But if we don't do it in the name of the Lord, we don't throw it on the right side, then sometimes our catch is not as big as what it needs to be. And I know I've spoken with Joni, and I know her heart and her intention and the intent of some of the other moderators. And I just want to say it's been touching to me, because this is a ministry. This is not just an opportunity for people to go around and get some gifts from each other, but it is a ministry of hope. All of you are ministering love and hope one to another. And I think that is what the most important message that you can give out there to anyone in this little group is, that they're not alone and that we care. So you are part of that miraculous catch. And I just want to encourage you today to let you know that you may be with the right skill set, you might be with the right mindset, but you have to hear, listen, follow directions, and not just know what to do because it's the right thing to do, but because it's what you've been called to do. So throw out your nets, and I'm excited to see what God brings in on your catch. So just wanted to share that with you and tell you that I love you, and I see you, and you're not alone, and God bless.